Hey everyone, welcome to the broadcast. Wissam Bazzi, and today we have an amazing email I actually really enjoy this topic, and it's pretty much a student mentality. What is the student mentality and how do you maintain that? And before I delve into the email, I just want you to understand that you're always hitting the bottom of your next goal. You're never hitting top. And what I mean by that is like literally let's say I'm trying to achieve and get here. Whenever you hit that level, you just hit the bottom of your next goal because you're gonna look up and it's like, oh my God, there's more space to grow. That's how it works. But some of us, when we first learn something, we become arrogant. We learn more, then we become humble. Then when we learn more, we actually realize that we know nothing at all. And that's how it works. When you get to that level, you realize that you're always learning. Life is a teacher. Bottom line, you're never gonna out-teach life. It's always gonna teach you whether you like it or not. Get that through your head, believe me. The quicker you do that, the quicker you're gonna understand how important becoming a learner, a lifetime learner actually is everything really in terms of achievement and actually propelling yourself to the next stage. So here, what I wanna also tell you is once you understand that and you get yourself to that level, you're always learning. And I'm never teaching, I'm always learning because I'm always relearning what I've learned. And it's amazing when you are actually actively learning versus passively learning. You actually maintain about 90% more information when you're actually actively learning, meaning you're teaching the information. So understand that you're always learning, no matter what. So let's go into the email and delve into the subject and we'll see how it goes. He says, hey coach, I have been noticing that I'm not being as good as a student as I was months before. Okay, right away, right here, what that tells me is you've achieved some success. You've learned some information, you've downloaded the information, okay, you've applied the information, and you've gained success. That's what it tells me right away. Because the minute you start taking other people for granted that are around you, understand you're becoming a little bit arrogant. So you gotta be careful of that. Arrogance, when that sets in and now you believe in your own opinion and you have your confidence, understand the confidence that you have is minor. The person that's above you has a lot more expertise, has a lot more knowledge, has a lot more wisdom. Just because you can kind of notch off a few things off your belt doesn't mean that you understand everything as a whole. The biggest problem that people have when they gain success is they become confident. That's false. That confidence is a false sense of security. You're only confident in certain things. Your confidence is very specific. It's not a general confidence yet. You gotta gain a lot more to gain general confidence, where you believe in your own ability so much that you can actually take on any level of information in any situation within your realm, within your industry, and take it on and actually beat it. So a lot of people, they fall into overconfidence. They become overconfident and they actually turn against the people who taught them. That's the biggest problem that I see. Right away, instead of using the information against the world, they turn against their mentors. They turn against people who have really given them so much time, so much effort, and so much amazing growth in terms of getting them to the next level. Don't do that to your mentors. That's one thing I would advise you. Don't do that to a mentor that's actually giving you so much out of their time, maybe money, attention, everything that they've done for you. Be grateful for that, because the worst thing you can do in your life is to turn against someone like that. And watch, when you do that, I guarantee you the next person you mentor is gonna do the same thing to you. So there's ways of actually doing that. I'm not gonna get into that, but be careful with that. So let's continue. He says, when I started, I took everything that everyone said to heart and applied it. Okay, so right away you're just taking in, again, you're absorbing information and you're applying it right away. But recently I have not been taking everything 100% to the extent that I should. Now you're starting to notice that, you know what? You're starting to believe in your own opinion. You're starting to believe in terms of what's going on. So you're listening through a different filter. And here's what I'm going to tell you right here. Be very careful with this. Why? Because at the end of the day, when you gain confidence and the information feels boring to you and the person starts becoming like literally, you're listening to the person and you actually have animosity, or you have some kind of distance between you and that person that you don't want to even hear them. Understand, you just put on the lens of arrogance. That's all you did. When you shut off your ears and now you can't even look at the person when they're talking or presenting, you shut down your mind, bottom line, okay? You have went to arrogance in terms of your own perspective. Now, here's another thing I want you to really understand and pay attention to. I'm not saying this is all you. Sometimes it could be the mentor as well. But at the end of the day, most of the time, it's usually on the student. Now, here's what you need to do at this point. You need to stop listening through a biased perspective. What you have done is you put on a lens on your ears, literally, and a filter that you're listening through. And the person, as soon as they start talking, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put on that lens and you become biased to that perspective. That's all you're going to see. You're not going to hear anything else, and you're going to have something called a confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is something where you're just listening to information that supports your own understanding of what the situation is. And you never see multiple perspectives because you never are really looking at the other person through their perspective. That means you stopped learning, bottom line. And you literally are listening through the lens of arrogance. You got to be very careful with this one. Okay, I'm writing you because I want to ask you, how do I remain a full-time student after I have succeeded doing things in a certain way? You see this? This is the most important thing right here. You just you succeeded, you've gained success, and this is what happens. Thank you so much for your time. Okay, excellent. This is something crucial right here. The minute you gain success and you gain confidence and you pull yourself up and you feel like you're more worthy, what happens is you've downloaded this information, and this information has made you more expensive. Anytime you download information and it's new information, then you apply that information and you gain success with it, you've just become more expensive as a person. Good for you. But you got to understand, that's not true success. True success is when you can do that on multiple levels of growth and you keep growing and you keep growing and you keep growing. That's true success. A lot of people, when you get mentored and you get that person to actually give you their time, they gain success, then they hit a certain level, then they plateau. Then they think they've got it. I'm sorry, you don't have it. I'm sorry, you don't. You got to understand that. To maintain a student mentality is to always be hungry for information and knowledge. And that's not just mentally, that's emotionally. When I'm listening to someone, I'm longing for the information. I have an emotional lens I'm thirsty for information. I want that knowledge. I'm always listening, even to my enemy. I'm always paying attention and saying that this is something that I can learn from. This is something that I can achieve. There's a beautiful saying, it's amazing to me. And he says, don't get too close to your friend because someday he may become your enemy. And don't go too far from your enemy because one day he may become your friend. And then he says another thing, he says, I'd rather have a wise enemy than a foolish friend. That's huge. When you understand that, even a wise enemy can give you information. And most of the time, guys, you got to understand that when actually we're going through any of this stuff, listen to people. You don't have to take the idea. Aristotle actually says, he says, the sign of a wise mind is the mind that can entertain an idea but not accept it. That's wisdom. That's an ability to actually take in information, conjure it up in your own mind, then see, okay, does it fit or doesn't fit logically? Does it work or it doesn't work when you apply? That's wisdom. That's understanding at a whole nother level. So, guys, what I would tell you with this, always maintain your student mentality. The day you die is the day you actually stop learning, where the soul can die before the body. When you stop learning, understand you're killing your soul. Just like your body needs nourishment, your body needs, your mind and your soul need wisdom and knowledge. Take it from there. Guys, if you need my help personally, if you want even paid sessions, anything that has to do with these kinds of questions, please send an email to wb@wisambazzi.com And a coach, guys, what they do is they help you grow. They help you get your life together, from business coaching to personal coaching to any of these things. Don't be afraid to send an email, and I'll see you guys next time.